Yo, yo, yo. Good afternoon, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, even if you're in Boise, Idaho, it seems like it's a hot day everywhere. And we've got a hot lineup for you as well. Welcome to Social Security Influencers 2, everybody. Make some noise.
Woo!
We've got a wonderful lineup for you. We've got people from all over the country. Tonight, our opening act will be Wayne Holtzman out of Phoenix, Arizona. Then we'll have artist Treece out of Palm Beach, Florida. Then we'll have Chipp Jones out of Washington, D.C. Then we'll have Jane Banks out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And we have our headliner tonight, Miss Debbie Wooten out of Portland, Oregon, by way of Boise, where she's headlining a couple of shows for Suitman Productions in Boise, Idaho. But last but not least, everybody give it up to your host for the most, the guy from the ye oldest mic. Give it up for Al Coseglia.
Thank you, Mr. Dante. And Suitman Productions, what a great organization. Love working with them. This is the second Social Security Influencers show I've done, hosted, and I'm glad to say that everyone from the first show, they're still around.
Yeah.
Please don't think that people our age are fading. We've all been watching the Olympics, and there's two Olympians that are over the age of 60. Mary Hannah is 66 from Australia. She does dressage, and a medal winner from Australia in equestrian, Andrew Hoy, is 62. So we're proud of them, and that makes us feel young. So we're here to entertain you. We're all old, but we're still active. My name is Al Coseglia. Sounds like Alka-Seltzer. And on this show, everyone knows the jingle. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. I'm 71, damn it. I'm not happy about it. I love being 69. I would tell people, hey, I'm 69. They would say, nice. Now I say I'm 71. Yeah, that's exactly what they say. So to stay in touch with 69, I like to tell 69 jokes. One of my goals for 2021 is to write 69 jokes. I only have 15. I wrote 6, then I wrote 9 more. So I want to do some audience participation. I'm going to say, you know what I love about 69? And you're all going to say what? So Here we go. You know what I love about 69?
What?
The fact that I can still contort my body into a 6 or a 9. At our age, we call that biflexual. You know what I love about 69?
What?
It's the only sex act that is non-sexist. You can be the 6, you could be the 9. You could be the 9, you could be the 6. You could be a man with a man. You could be a woman with a woman. You could be a man with a woman. You can be a man with 2 women. No, that's 70. You know what I love about 69?
What?
Room 69 is not allowed in nursing homes, but it is in every other room. You know what I love about 69 and why I act like an expert? Because I haven't had 69 since 69 at Woodstock. Last one, I promise. You know what I love about 69?
What?
There is no talking. I just turned 71, as I said, and I went for my annual Medicare exam, you know, the preventative thing. And, people, we get to our age and people think that, you might die. Matter of fact, for my birthday a couple of weeks, a local comic, Matt McElhone posted for my birthday, "We miss you, Al," with a heart emoji. I'm dead to him. But I have discovered the fountain of youth. It's beta blockers, which a lot of us take. It's statins, and it's a shit ton of pot, which I smoke and eat and bathe. And it works, because this morning, after I did a bowl, I looked in the mirror. I looked young. And statins, they lower cholesterol, right? Mine's 99, over 200 is high. I got my blood flowing through my body like the Colorado River Rapids. I'm never going to die. unless Matt McElhone has something to say about it. I love getting high. You know what I love about getting high? The fact that I can still contort my body into a 6 or a 9. I'm Al Coseglia. Peace out. Let's get on with this great show. We have a phenomenal lineup. Yeah. I'm glad to be here. We're going to have a great afternoon. Let's kick it off. From Phoenix, Arizona, he's a school psychologist and a singer-songwriter. Formerly from Austin, Texas, he's sporting the orange from the University of Texas. Here he is, Wayne Holtzman.
Thank you, Al. Thank you very much. You know what? Getting old is a real drag, just like Mick Jagger says, but he can still dance. I have no idea how. But when I was young, things were a lot less complicated. In my hometown, you go to a movie theater and there was one movie at set times of the day, and you didn't have to think of anything. Nowadays, you go to an AMC, there's 15 different movies on 24 different screens, and probably even more than that. So the other day I said, I'm going to have a really low stress day for a change. I'm going to go to the movies myself. I went over to the movies, got in my car, drove, got out, went in. I didn't even know what movie I was going to see. I asked the girl at the ticket window. I said, "Hey, can you recommend a good movie for an old geezer like me?" She said, "Well, yes, sir. There's a movie starting in just 5 minutes. I think you'll really enjoy it." I said, "Okay." So I bought a senior ticket, really happily bought me a large diet Dr. Pepper, caffeine free. And I started walking towards the movie theaters when an attendant stopped me and he said, "Sir, you need to wear a mask." I said, "Oh my God, you're right, a mask." So I walked out to my car with my clicker, click, 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 nothing, click, click. What the hell? This damn battery dead or something? Went the keys, opened up the car, nothing. Oh, nothing at all. Wrong car. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Where the hell is my damn car? And then I remembered I'd parked it way far away. I didn't want anybody to dent my 1967 Mustang. So, and then it started raining, and it was raining. I said, "Oh, damn it." I found the mask, walked back in the rain. Now I couldn't walk fast. I'd fall on my butt or on my face or on my head. Didn't want a spinal injury either. Oh God, walked into the movie theater. Now I was stressed. The whole idea was not to be stressed, So I said, "Where's the movie? Where's the movie?" Okay, screen number 2, now showing. That's my movie. I walk in, dark. Of course it's dark. Every movie started. I look at my ticket. I can't even read my ticket. It's dark. I don't know where to sit. I sat down wherever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The movie had started. People were already laughing. They were just involved in the movie. I didn't know what the hell was going on. 10 minutes later, the movie's over. The lights come on. A teenage boy comes in cleaning. I was furious. I took my anger out on him. I said, you know what? I got Chipp. They told me the wrong time for this movie. I want my money back. As a senior citizen, I deserve it. He said, sir, let me look at your ticket. We're in screen number 2. Yours is screen number 12. That's way on the other side of the building. Let me take you to your seat. Okay. So I followed him over, way across. And by now, he said, you've only missed 35 minutes of the movie. Oh, thanks. Great. So I come in, I sit down, start to relax. I shouldn't have relaxed. I said, oh, goddamn, I got to pee really bad, really bad. That goddamn Diet Dr. Pepper. So I got up, went to the bathroom. It might have been the water pill. I don't know, a combination. Anyway, I come back, sit down again in my seat. Finally, I get ready to really enjoy the movie. What else can happen? Ring-a-ling, 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 my cell phone. Okay, get the goddamn cell phone out of my pocket. I'm trying to get it out. You idiot. What the hell are you doing? You are ruining my movie experience. Oh, God, I'm embarrassed, extremely embarrassed. I run out the movie to leave the rest of my Diet Dr. Pepper there. Just can't, I go out. I said, what am I going to do? So I'm going home. I felt like crying. It's ridiculous. So I walk outside. It's still raining. Now it's pouring. I walk to my car. I feel like I'm raining tears of sadness. I go out into my car, ready. Where's my keys? I don't have my keys. Damn it. Oh, they must have fallen out of my pocket. Oh no, I walk back into the movie theater area. I can't go back there and that bully's gonna bully me. So I sit down in the lobby and fall asleep like an old geezer should be doing, right? And I'm there falling asleep, and before I know it, that same teenage boy comes and wakes me up and said, sir, I know you were sitting here. Are these your keys? Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what? Next time, I think I'll watch a movie at home. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for that wonderful movie experience. Yes, it's a lot different than in our days when they had a balcony. Gosh, wouldn't that be exciting? And you're right about the drinks. They come in a trowel. It's not a cup, it's a trowel. Thank you. Let's hear it for Wayne Holtzman from Phoenix, Arizona, with his Star Trek shirt. All right, let's move along. Yes, we have a lot of great artists ahead of us. Next artist is formerly from New Jersey. I was just in New Jersey. I'm so excited to hear her. She now is living the great life in Palm Beach, Florida. Here she is, the artist Treece.
Thank you, Wayne. Let me just say this, first of all. I want to give a big shout out to Dante for this show, this matinee. That's pretty much what it is. Old people matinee, right at 3 o'clock in the damn afternoon. That goddamn old. Dude. Listen, and also want you guys to, I'm doing, my birthday's this month. This is Sexy 60. Okay, come on, give me some. Come on. Let me stop now before I hurt myself. Because it don't take much at our age, right? I'm telling you, the other day my back went out. All I did was just have a thought. I changed my mind. The next thing I was like, damn, my back. You sneeze, you pass gas, just weird shit like that. You got to get used to it. So when Dante put me on this old people show, I was like, you know what? You got jokes, Dante. You got jokes. But what he didn't realize, if you're going to do an old people show, you got to remember, we got routines. Am I right, folks? He cut right into my library time. I almost thought I was going to make this set. My body said, no, I know where you belong at 3 o'clock. You're going to mess around with Nana's nap time. You're going to mess around with Nana's nookie time. Okay, so right back at you. Straight up, I don't know about you guys. With this pandemic, I have been going crazy. I mean, I will admit, you let down your habits, certain things like even like passing gas. I got to start straightening my shit. I just can't be passing gas all willy-nilly. You know what I mean? I don't have somebody else with me. I'm trying to be cute. You can't be just so honey, you want bacon? I mean, that just doesn't work, So I got to straighten that up. That's on my checklist. I got that down. Now, the other thing that I got to do, I don't know about any of the other women that are my age. I used to have like a sexy lingerie drawer, with the matching panties and the bra and all that. I had pink and blue and black and brown. I mean, when we put them on, girls, we want to strut our stuff, look good. Every time I put the black pair on, 2 seconds, took it right off. So maybe he don't like black. I went in the drawer. I got the pink pair. I put the pink pair on, put that on. I'm ready to strut my stuff. Took that off. This shit went on for like 4 different lingerie outfits. I was like, he just don't like lingerie. So I threw all the shit away. I dumped the drawer. You know what I got in there now? Knee pads, all different color assorted knee pads. They all neat up in the drawer. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't never had a man yet tell me to take them goddamn knee pads off. The problem that I just discovered when I went in that knee pad drawer, because I renamed it knee pads. Okay. It's not the knee pads. It's these knees. You understand what I'm talking about? My knees ain't the same. I'm going to need a knee pad and an elbow pad and a helmet. I'm going to look like a 4-year-old riding a bike and shit, but we're going to get it done. You know what I mean? I'm determined. Shit, I can't even remember the last time. It's like, forget the fact. I used to be embarrassed when you say, well, a year. We passed years. I'm like, how many years? Like, if I grouped it in 5s and 10s, I mean, that's with somebody else, because y'all know we've been resourceful being by yourself. Okay. So I'm getting ready. I feel like I'm going back into civilization, but at sexy 60. So I gotta adjust my game a little bit. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. And right now, see, I'm a medical marijuana cancer survivor, contributor to the dispensary. And I don't know about you, but I've been smoking weed all my life before cancer. So I'm like, well, this finally works. Finally, some shit works. But the problem is, I don't know how to let my old boy that used to look me out, the weed man, I don't know how to let him go, because the dispensary's got coupons and shit. And I'm like, dude, you ain't never gave me a buy one, get one or nothing. You know what I'm saying? He can't compete. He was trying. He was trying. He had a picture of his kids on the dashboard and shit, because he knew, the old school weed men know the light is shining, okay? Because I ain't got to wait for you. I can just, order it? I can go online and look at, are you kidding me? So I was stressing about that. I was like, I don't know how, because this dude's been delivering. He like a weed Uber. I mean, he was good. I was like, how am I going to just like cut off? So I went over to the dispensary. I walked in there. I thought the shit was fake, because I didn't smell weed at all. Every time you see somebody around you, they got weed, you smell it. You be like, you don't even have to see it. You could be in the store somewhere. You be like, somebody in here in aisle 7 smoking weed. You know what I mean? If you got that kind of sensitivity, right? So I walk in there, the shit's all sterile. I walk in there all quiet and whatnot. I asked them for certain things like, do you have bud? You have shake? They're like, we can't say that. I'm like, listen, I'm going to need to understand before I spend my goddamn money up in here. Then they finally get all of this stuff out the way, and they give me a container. It's all square. Anybody seen this? It's square. How the fuck am I going to get in a square container? It's square. I'm 60 years old. You guys know. Come on. You can't push and pull. The Oxycontin is on a regular old push down. You know what I mean? They say this is in like a child-proof bottle. Every day I got to ask the kid next door to open the shit. I'm like, he gets in it. I don't know what you guys were trying to accomplish. Then I open it up. They got like one of them funky foot pads in there. Y'all seen it? I took that. I was like, who putting foot pads in my weed? What is wrong with these people? So now I don't even do that. I just bring my own Ziploc bag. You know what I mean? I'm like, here's my Ziploc bag. Just put my shit in there. I'll put it in front of my pants, and I'm back in my element. Okay, we don't need to take away everything. But it's a brand new world. So now I'm all getting ready to get on my trip, getting ready to go get my Nana's Nookie weekend. You understand? So the first stop, in case y'all know, is going to the airport and getting that TSA pat down. Oh, y'all didn't know? That's when you start getting, that man got experienced hands. I have different shit poking out of my boobs right here, just so that they'll touch me right up in there real good. You know what I mean? And you can get a breast exam. You can get an x-ray. Shit, you can get a total colonoscopy if you just yell out Al-Qaeda, some shit like that. So that's the first step of self-care. I had one, the last trip, that shit was so good. I left the airport, had a cigarette. I didn't pour it. No, that I was like, whoo, I left. I was like, excuse me, went and had me a cigarette, went to another agent and had me another pat down. And let me tell you something, this dude, whoo, Dominique gave my inner thigh some extra love. Do you understand what I mean? I stood in the doorway. You know, you're supposed to go through. I stood there. Okay. Dominique was like, what are you doing there? Come here, come over to me. I was like, oh, shucks. Trust me, they got me on some kind of list, not a no fly list, some kind of no pat down list or some shit, because I tried to make a reservation. But I was just trying to be proactive. You don't know what I'm talking about. I knew what I liked. I wanted Dominique, I wanted Salvatore, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's the second leg of the trip. We older people, we have a plan. Now the third trip of this, the leg of this trip is, y'all realize that as you get older, and some of the young people maybe in the audience, that you see how on this screen here, I don't even see my boobs. And I know they're boobs. They're not titties, they're boobs. Titties are when you go to Victoria's Secret, okay, and you see bras and you bend over and the shit just comes on there. Pops it on. You don't even snap it. Those are titties. Don't have them no more. Had them, breastfed. I was able to breastfeed and reach for the remote on the nightstand. That's how shit, you know what I mean? So just gravity don't work with you when you get older. You're like, on second thought, it probably wasn't a good idea. I was proud, but probably not good for old age. So now I got boobs. So I want somebody that can meet me halfway. Like boobs require, when you get a bra, they don't just pop in. You got to roll them up. Okay, stuff them and tuck them and line them up. You don't want to have a high beam and a fog light. You're like, oh, wait a minute, the nips ain't right. Hold on a minute, let me get that right. That's boobs. They require. So I want a man that if I'm rolling up the left boob, start rolling the right one. You see the formula? You see what I'm doing? Well, you got your face all scrunched up for? Shit. I just want a companion. Shit, just somebody that can help me. Because, man, I see y'all snickling. Gravity ain't your friend neither. Some of y'all be sitting there going to the bathroom. You'll heard them ladies. Late at night, they be talking about, whoa. You're like, honey, what's wrong? Oh, the toilet seat wasn't down. No, your balls hit the water. That's what it was. Shit, gravity ain't good for you either. So I'm taking it in stride. I'm hitting 60. I got my knee pads. Maybe if I put them double, I get my double knee pads. Shit, whatever I got to do. I got my medical marijuana. I'm ready to go. And I walk outside. And here it is, a little old bitty tiny baby bird is punking me. I'm here in Florida, y'all. These little baby birds will attack you. They're a gang. Let me just put it out there. They're pretty. They're beautiful. The most beautiful, colorful gang you've ever seen in your life. But they're a gang, okay? And as soon as you go by, turn your head, they swoop down and knock your head off. So you know what I decided to do? I got me a super soaker. That's right. Every time I go out to walk my dog, I take my super soaker. Shit, I even fill that bitch up with blueberry yogurt. That way you try to shit on me, I'm shitting on you too, okay? You got to use your skills when you get older. So I'm going to keep it moving. My name is Artist Treece. Thank you for letting me go with old people. Nana needs her nap, so Nana can get her nookie. I am out, Artist Treece. Thank you.
Yes, Artist Treece. Very, very funny. Loved it. You got a great idea for merch, man. You should be selling those knee pads at your shows.
Oh, yeah.
They'll sell off the show. Let's hear it for the Artist Treece from Palm Beach, Florida. Wonderful, love it. Let's keep going. It is the early bird special, as they say, especially in Florida. From Washington, D.C., he's a smart guy in a fat guy's body, but he's a lot more than that. Here he is, Chipp Jones.
Yay! Yeah, Treece is right, man. I had to take a nap so I could stay up for this 3 o'clock show. So I'm feeling rested. I am also at that age, you know, where 50% of the time, if I'm up after midnight, it's because I got to go to the bathroom, you know. And the other 50% is because I got to go again. I mean, it's just horrible. I am jealous of young guys, you know, because I can see young guys, man. They when they go, they're like little firemen with their fire hoses just blasting away, you know. Yeah, if I'm your fireman, your house is burning to the ground. I mean, I'll tell you, when I go, it's more like a ketchup pump at McDonald's, sort of squirt. I'll be honest with you, it takes so long. I sit when I pee now, you know, which can be awkward at a urinal. Yeah, it's true. And you always got to remember to stand up before you flush or your back gets wet. That's horrible. That's just horrible. My doctor now books me for 2 appointments if I have to pee in a cup, which I think is just rude. I think that's just rude. You know? I got hair growing in weird places, you know, tops of my ears and stuff. A couple weeks back, I had this long strand growing out of my ear. I went to pull on it and my leg went up. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I said, you know what? I better just tie this one off just in case, you know? Sometimes I got to shave the knuckles of my toes to get them in my shoes. I mean, it's like I'm not growing old so much as I'm turning into a hobbit. I mean, it's like you're going to be looking for a quest sometime soon. That's the thing. I do, like many African Americans, suffer from big bones. It's compounded by the fact that I'm fat. I tried running, but I found I can only run if there's a Popeyes at the end of it. So I'm no longer a runner. I don't know. Hey, did you ever go to a McDonald's and order so much food that you bought a second soda simply because you didn't want the people behind the counter to know you're going to eat all that yourself? You know, is that just me? You know. I really need to start working on it. You know, but I need help. I need like a fat guy gym. You know, I need a gym that's tailored for fat guys. You know, that has like maybe a 14-foot rope climb to a bucket of chicken. You know, or maybe every treadmill has a full Thanksgiving meal at the end of it that you just can't quite get to. You know, where they actually take you outside and make you chase down the ice cream truck. I need incentive, is what I'm saying. I need incentive, but I don't know. I have come to the realization that I have too much TV. You know, I got like 400 channels and I think I'm paying like $1,000 a month for them. And it's stupid, you know, because I basically only watch 3 channels. You know, I watch the Weather Channel, I watch CNN, and I watch this channel called H&I, Heroes and Icons. I love the Weather Channel because you can go away from that for 3 or 4 days. And when you come back, you know exactly where the story is, you know, it's comforting. CNN, because you got to have your news and nobody wants to miss Don Lemon crying. So you got to have the CNN. This H&I, though, I like the H&I because it shows all the old shows I used to watch as a kid, you know, all the detective shows and the Western, gotten back into Westerns. In particular, there's Bonanza. You guys remember Bonanza? Ran for 14 seasons. It's an odd little show when you think about it. What's the best way to describe this? I guess I can tell you this way. When I was a kid, my friends and I used to make up lyrics to TV theme shows that didn't have lyrics. And the ones I made up to Bonanza were these. Why are there no women on Bonanza? Why are there no women on Bonanza? Little Joe, here comes little Joe. Why are there no women on Bonanza? Because they all die. You know? You know, on this show, the patriarch has put 3 wives in the grave. And every time an actress comes on there that could potentially be a love interest for one of his sons, or God forbid for him, you know, by the end of the hour, she's dead. Yep. It's like, could they do a show like that now in Me Too, where every female character who's on the precipice of being reoccurring gets killed off in an hour? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm also old enough to remember when TV was in black and white, you know, and by that I mean it was mostly white with just a little bit of black, you know. And then we got Technicolor, which I think stood for technically you have one person of color on your show. So, yeah, that's when I fell in love with Star Trek, you know, because they had the beautiful Black Uhura, Michelle Nichols. But even then, it wasn't really moving the race forward because she was basically a secretary in space, you know, answering the calls. For me, Star Trek moved forward when we got The Next Generation, because on that show, we had Geordie LaForge, the engineer, who was a blind engineer. He was considered a genius, and he didn't play piano or sing at all. So I thought that was pretty good. We are moving the race forward. I do live in Washington, D.C., and I don't know if you know this, but we had like a little dust up here in January. Some people apparently tried to attack the Capitol. It was in the news for a while. I don't know if you heard about this, but I actually have a conservative white friend who was down there that day. He didn't actually attack the Capitol, but he was at the Trump rally beforehand. And I had to tell him, I said, you know, those Trump rallies, they are just racist. And he said, no, they're not. He goes, I was there. There were a lot of black people at that rally. And I thought, you know what? I kind of know what he means, because I know if I went to a Trump rally and I saw 2 black people, I'd be like, man, there are a lot of black people at this Trump rally. So I think it's the only time where a conservative white guy and a black guy agreed on what a lot of black people were. It's 2. It's 2. Yeah. And usually when a conservative white person tells you they've got a lot of black friends, that's what they mean. They've got 2. I don't know. This racism stuff, it is kind of crazy. You know, I thought we were making such traction with the BLM movement last year, you know, because corporate America let Aunt Jemima, Mrs. Butterworth, and Uncle Ben off the corporate plantation. And it was nice to see that, because, you know, it meant that we got to go first, because usually we don't get to go at all. I could have seen them starting out with, I don't know, child labor and letting off Little Debbie and Wendy's, or maybe even working on gay rights, and finally letting the Brawny Man and Mr. Clean declare their love, you know. That one's always been a sad one for me, because, you know, they're always on the same aisle, but they're never allowed to be side by side, you know. So it's like, but it also meant that I was being inundated by these woke white people with their crazy historical knowledge to show me they were down with the struggle. You know, people coming up to me going, hey, did you know Malcolm X was an excellent bowler? Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. Harriet Tubman, she had narcolepsy. Okay, cool. Martin Luther King, he not only dreamed, but he also had nightmares. Get away from me, just walk away. You know, and white America discovered Juneteenth, you know, the commemoration of the slaves in Texas. They didn't find out for 2 years that they were free.
200.
Yeah. Now Congress has made it a national holiday. I don't know if I'm down with that, because I know next year I can imagine turning on the TV and hearing "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." You need a new chariot? Come on down to Coons Ford. We'll get you in a Tahoe today. Still haven't got that reparations check. 0% financing. Come on in. You know, or maybe I'm gonna lay down my burden on this sleepy memory foam mattress. Come on into our Juneteenth celebration. Everything 3/5 the price. No. Yeah, and the worst thing is now it's a holiday. You know that Hallmark's going to get involved. And I can see my white friends and coworkers sending me these crazy cards. You know, like I get a card that says, hey, I'm sorry about slavery. Open it up. It was a cotton picking shame. What? You know, walking into my office, there's a card on my desk that says, hey, it's been over 150 years since we had slavery. Open up the card. Isn't that just watermelon under the bridge? Yeah, right. From Debbie and the girls at HR. Who do I complain to now? You know? I don't know. You know, I was saddened recently about race relations, because I was in downtown DC and this little 6-year-old white girl was walking in front of me, and she looked back and saw me, and she immediately took her Barbie purse. She moved it to the other side of her body and she clutched it really tight. And it made me sad. I think mainly because it meant I had to knock her to the ground to snatch it. I was like, yeah, this racism isn't working out for either one of us. Well, I think that's about my time. I thank you guys for listening. Have a good evening or good day.
Let's hear it for Chipp Jones. Wonderful stuff, Chipp. So much. I wish I had time to comment on all of it. I will say that I think Bonanza today would be Dateline. That was great stuff, Chipp. Let's hear it for him. Chipp Jones from Washington, D.C. Absolutely fabulous. All right, next up from New Orleans. You're not going to believe she's 72 years old and she loves it. And when you see her, you're not going to believe she said this, but she's 72 years old. She loves it because she can say whatever the fuck she wants. You gotta love that. And at 72, she's finally paid off her student loans. From New Orleans, Kate Dykes.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you, Al, for introducing me, and like to thank Dante for producing this show because I've got to say he's amazing. He's just the shit. That's young people talk for good. Yeah, I think I might be the oldest person in this room, even among the Social Security influencers. But you know, I like being 70, 72, because you know, we have fun. We have fun like everybody else. People don't understand that we can abuse drugs and alcohol just like anyone else. I mean, I'm sorry. My favorite brand of tequila is really cheap at Costco. And my weed man, because we don't live in a legal state here, my weed man takes Venmo and has curbside delivery. So we're good. And you know, to all you young folks out there, I would just like to remind you that my generation invented marijuana. You're welcome. Now, I understand that some people don't think that old folks have sex, but really, you could not be more wrong, right? We do. We are having a lot of sex. So this is, you know, maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing, because the Center for Disease Control says that STD rates in our age group are skyrocketing. Like that metaphor, guys, but that's their word, not mine. Skyrocketing. In other words, we're getting a lot of love, maybe not enough glove, but a lot of love. And you know, this is something we can do just like anyone else. We just need a little accommodation, knee pads or whatever. But there was this great accommodation for us in Florida. There's this swingers resort in Florida, and they open up their playroom. I'm assuming you know what I mean by that, right? They open up their playroom in the afternoon just for seniors. It's amazing. You know, you can get your freak on, get the early bird special at Applebee's, and go home in time for Jeopardy. So that's the fucking good life. I'm telling you. So yeah, I don't make a lot of effort for sex though. I really don't. I don't wax for one thing. I'm sorry, I don't get it. They didn't do that back in my day, and I cannot see, you know, putting myself in the stirrups and letting somebody rip my pubic hair out by the roots. You know, some guy doesn't like the fur down there. That's just too bad. But yeah, so I don't wax, and I rarely get a manicure or a pedicure. Rarely. Once in a great while, I do get a facial, but only if I really like the guy. You know, and if you think that senior sex is gross, and I know a lot of young people think the very idea is really disgusting, I would just say, stop whining. You don't have to be there. Really, you know, we're the ones who are confronted with it. And what I would say is, thank God we don't see as well as we used to. That's all right. But seriously though, I mean, when I think about my age group and younger age groups, I think that my generation has very fewer problems with sex than young people do. I really do. I mean, I know a lot of young people from the comedy scene here in New Orleans. And I went to a club and I saw a friend of mine sitting there and he looked very unhappy. And I said, honey, geez, what's the matter? And he said, oh, Jane, it's not fair. Women have all the pussy. You know, it's not wrong. But his problem is no one is sharing it with him. And he's there. He goes down to his mom's basement, whines on Facebook about how come women don't want to go out with nice guys. And that's attractive. But by women, he means really smoking hot women. And by nice guys, he means bitter, ugly guys. So let's look at this again, folks. Why don't smoking hot women want to go out with bitter, ugly guys? God beats the fuck out of me. Yeah. So we're coming to the advice portion of this set. See, I have a daughter, and she needed a better sex education than she got in the schools in Indiana, where they just super glue your knees together and call it a day. So my sister, who lives in New York City, tried to help out by taking her to the Museum of Sex when she was a teenager. And that was where she watched Paris Hilton's sex tape and then came out of the museum and informed me that Miss Hilton is a spitter, not a swallower. I think I'm going to take over the sex education thing. So I did come up with something, and I think it's useful to her, useful to her friends, and some of you out there in comedy land too. I call it, "Don't fuck that guy." And I have mercy. Goes on t-shirts. So that's me going, no, don't do it, don't fuck him. So if this guy has a big old bushy beard but no mustache, don't fuck that guy. Because seriously, picture it. He's right out of The Handmaid's Tale. You are going to find yourself on a compound in Idaho with 10 kids, 3 sister wives, and no Jews. So don't fuck that guy. And if a guy, I'm sorry, Chipp, if a guy has a neck beard, don't fuck that guy. Because with some notable exceptions, if he's too lazy to shave his neck, how hard do you think he's going to work when it's time to go downstairs and get busy? And of course, if a guy doesn't want to go downstairs because he thinks it's gross, don't fuck that guy. He will not make you happy. And besides that, it's just rude. Just rude. So if a guy calls you darling, I think that's sweet. People do that a lot down here where I'm from. But if he calls you sugar tits in public, in front of your mom, come on, ladies, he was raised by wolves. Don't fuck that guy. Guy talks about his exes. Oh God, that's annoying. I understand, but if he doesn't have any exes, don't fuck that guy. Because think about it. Come on, ladies, your sisters have voted. He is unfuckable, so don't fuck him. Okay, so I understand that for some of you, it's too late, isn't it? Isn't it? You've already fucked that guy. Don't lie to me. I know. I mean, we've all been there, or at least many of us have been there. I've been there, all right. You've got some decisions to make. Okay, you fucked that guy. Maybe that wasn't a great idea. So now, do you keep him or do you dump him? Well, if the way he eats makes you want to feed him ground glass, honey, he's not in jail time. Dump him. If a guy calls his mommy, that's really adorable. If he calls you mommy, ew, that's creepy. Dump him. If you've been going out for a while and you haven't met his mommy or any of his friends, honey, get real. You're his side chick. Dump him. So some of you, I understand, are not out for any kind of real relationship. You don't want Mr. Right. You want Mr. Right now. And I understand we've all been in lockdown for a long time. So I put together a little overnight kit for adults. For those of you who, want to be able to go home with the guy who looks cute at closing time. So here's what I came up with. You need to have deodorant, feminine wipes, and a toothpaste, because you want all of your orifices to be mini fresh. You've got to have $20, because he may have looked cute last night, but if he's not that adorable in the morning, you should buy your own breakfast, cut your losses, and get out of there. You definitely need clean panties, because mom was right. You could get hit by a bus and end up in the hospital. I'm pretty sure doctors don't try that hard to save people in dirty underwear. You need makeup remover, because nothing says walk of shame like running mascara. Even your Uber driver will judge you. You should bring condoms. Now, you may be thinking, well, he'll have condoms. Probably he does, but do you know how old they are? How good they are? I mean, do you know the last time this guy got lucky? What I would say is, if you wouldn't trust him with your Netflix password, don't trust his condoms. Don't trust him. And finally, I recommend bringing a little pocket vibrator. You know, that bullet kind, and I know some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Little pocket vibrator, because you really don't know how things are going to turn out. And this guarantees you a happy ending. I mean, I think this is a genius idea. I call it the Hover Knife Bag, and it'll be out on Etsy next month. So I'm Jane Banks. Don't fuck that guy.
Let's hear it for Jane Banks. Yes, so happy you say whatever the fuck you want. Thank you.
I do. I told you.
Please don't post a picture of me anywhere that says "Don't fuck this guy." I would appreciate that. I do want to comment about everybody talking about marijuana and urinating, peeing, because I do a little dealing. And, you know, they say that dealers don't do their own drugs and comics pee before they're set. I do my own drugs, and all of us are peeing right now. Let's get to our headline or our closer, a true talent coming straight out of Portland. She's been on the stage for 32 years. That's unbelievable. She's opened for the greats over time. She's headlined across the country. She's a movie star. She's been in the movie Pony Man, guy with a Polaroid and a pony. We're so excited she's here. She speaks from her heart and her uterus. She is truly the diva of comedy. Here she is, Miss Debbie Wooten.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Well, thank you. You know what? I've learned so much about getting older because I'm 65, and a lot of people say, "Debbie, you look younger than that." And I said, "Well, what do you use on your skin?" I said, "Fried chicken and pizza." Yeah, I use and my best girlfriend right now is Maybelline. That's my girl. You know, me and her, we get up every morning, we look in the mirror, and with that old lady I see in the mirror. Well, yeah, one day I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna stay out. You're not gonna cover me up with no more Maybelline. Is not gonna work anymore. You're going to Aero Shab to get a primer. That's what you're gonna have to do. So me and Maybelline, we fight every morning. We plaster that old lady up and cover her up. So that I hope I did a good job. What you think? Did I do a good job?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. You got to work with what you got left. You know, I'm me being 65. That meant that I was in the polio epidemic that we had, highly contagious, and I contracted polio when I was a baby. Spinal bifida and scoliosis, but I'm not gonna let none of that. No matter if you get older, you know, my polio deteriorated my body, but you know, I still got a good attitude. I still think I'm kind of sexy. With polio, I think I'm a hoochie mama, kind of a hoe. I'm a poly hoe. That's what I am. Once you go poly hoe, you never go back. I'll be a poly hoe. And you know, the years are flying by. You know, like you wait a year, and when you get old, when somebody say you gotta wait a year, it's like a snap, crackle, punch. It's here before you know it. And I've been, you know, I've been married. I've been married 41 years. Thank you. Thank you. That's 4 husbands, but I think that should count. To me, this marriage is like college credit, they're cumulative. And I had some great teachers. I was a slow learner. But I still believe, can you believe this? At my age, I still believe in the security of marriage. Social Security, it really paid good. I cried all the way down to the office every time. How much this time? Don't buy a lot of tissue, thank you. So I am working on my 5th husband. But now I'm taking a new strategy because I don't want no old man. I really don't want no old. I'm sorry, fellas. I don't want no old man to take me out as my last husband. So I got a proposition for the young men. I said, listen, I'm almost getting ready to die. But if you marry me and give me a little something, I'll pay your rent from the grave forever. I think I'll get somebody to take that up, you know. But you know, these young people, you know, like I heard y'all talking about drugs, but these young people are doing it on the wrong end. I try to tell these young people, you know, slow down on the alcohol and slow down on the drugs. Wait your turn. It's coming. Because we're all on drugs. But we call it medication. And we don't have to go to the drug house in the middle of the night. We just go to Walgreens drive-through. See, when young people do drugs, they got to go to meetings and go to rehab. They lose their job, their kids. We do drugs. We just go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. So, you know, wait your turn. It's coming. If you live, it's coming. Now, the young people, you know, they don't understand a lot of things we go through. But I remember the good music, Michael Jackson. Y'all remember Michael Jackson?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, a teenager playing. My favorite hit was "I'll Be There." And boy, I was playing that song back in the late '60s. I'll be there playing on my little compact little record player. I played that record all day long. And my daddy knocked on the door one day and he said, "He ain't got there yet." I said he gonna get there for days. I think he lying to you. See, you know, I like talking about the old days. You know, they say the old days, but you know what? It was the best days. These little kids, they don't know how to live. They don't know nothing about choosing a woman. Everybody want to be fit. Nobody want to date a big girl, and they want to date these little skinny ass women. And what good are they? All they got is a G spot. See, big girls, we got new spots everywhere. What is so damn good about being skinny? It's dangerous being skinny, especially out here in the Northwest. Yeah, they love the men. The crazy serial killers love skinny women. They snatch them off the street in their little car, drive off. See, big girls, we safe because you gotta go get a van, some fried chicken. You gotta get some extra friends, extra rope. Bait us in. You know, you see us fat girls walking. It's in a parking lot with 15 fat asses going to the buffet. It's safety in numbers. No, and we not walking. We in a drive-through, doors locked, safe. And you ain't gonna drag us and you're not gonna drag us out in the woods and dig on shallow grave, and run away. No, you're gonna be digging that hole all night to cover this big ass up. And there'll be daylight and you'll get caught. Can't throw us in a river called Fat Float. We ain't going down. So I'm concerned about the skinny population out here. It's about to be extinct. So I started a new program called "You Can't Beat Them, Feed Them" program because I care. Because I care. Yes. Well, talking about skinny women, I think I'm skinny because I've lost 175 pounds.
Whoa.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I lost 175 pounds. And, you know, I got my stomach stapled, but that was a big mistake. I should just got my lips stapled down in one nostril so I don't smell no food. I tried all the kind of diets. I tried the, you know, the Atkins diet. That's been around for a long time. I tried that Atkins diet for years, and I just wound up acting like I was on diet. Didn't work good at all. Oh, but I lost all this weight, and then to my shock, I was so upset. I found a hard lump under my breast. I went to a doctor about it, and he told me it was my rib cage. It's a bone. Got one on each side. I didn't even know that. Anatomy. Oh yeah, but this is, like I said, skinny as I'm gonna get. And you know, and if men don't like a big girl, it's only one. They're a little insecure because they know when they lay next to a skinny woman, she'll make his dick look bigger. That is the reason. Now, when I do that joke, the audience gets a little quiet. If it's a young audience, they get a little quiet. And you know why they get quiet? Because I said dick. They don't know nothing about dick. I came from the dick-friendly generation. I came from the generation when dick was a good American name. We had dick in all colors, all over the country. We had Black Dick Gregory, Dick Clark, Dick
That's right.
Buckets, Dick Tracy. We even had a big old dick swimming in the ocean, Moby Dicks. Back in my day, we even had a president, Tricky Dick. These young people, all they know about is bushes, but we had a dick, the first dick. That was us, our generation. And I'm very comfortable saying dick. I have no problem. I'm very comfortable saying dick because I was raised on dick. It was the first dick. It was the first book I read about in school. The Adventures of Dick. See Dick Come with Jane and Sally, Puff and Spot. I couldn't wait to go to school to see what Dick was gonna do with Jane and Puff. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we got dick shoved down our throat every day in school. And I had a great reading teacher. Oh, he was so nice. He would say, Debbie, you know, you read that really good, but next time read that a little slower. Okay, Mr. Johnson. Can't say dick no more, though. They taking the dick away from the young people. They made a bad word. We used to name our kids Dick. Women would look at their newborn son and say, look, honey, it's red, short, and wrinkly. Let's name it Dick. That's what they used to do. But not no more. Can't even say dick. It's an insult. Call somebody, he's a dick. Back in our day, thank you very much. But now, that hurts somebody's feelings. They've taken the dick away from the young women. They replaced it with the penis.
Yeah.
Ugh. What's the sex talk like now with these young women? Oh, baby, give me some more of that hot, throbbing penis. And you know what they say about a penis? An unprotected penis kills. That's why I don't mess around with no penises. I give me some old-fashioned dick from the 70s. Hi, fellas. How y'all doing? I'm in the vintage dick. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm in. You just catch a cold from that dick. That's it. Everybody just go, amen. Sometimes we ain't got to laugh. We just shake our head. Okay, but y'all need to laugh. I keep on going. You know, y'all my energy. You know, shoot, this ain't the library, damn it. You know, but you know, now that I've gotten older, I realized that I got pregnant too soon. I had 5 failed birth control methods. I was in the delivery room with my last baby, and the doctor had the nerve enough to ask me and my husband. I call him my husband. Congratulations, you having another boy. It's a boy. Are you Jewish? And I'm like, doctor, we Black, African American. Why do you think we Jewish? He said, because your little boy born with a little cap on his head. I said, damn diaphragm. I knew I had it on. See, these young women, they don't even know what a diaphragm is. That was our birth control. Yeah, that was our birth control. But you know, you put that diaphragm in, that sperm crying right over that diaphragm. That's why they should make a sperm qualifier alarm system. So when the sperm go in there, it will analyze the quality of sperm. This is asshole sperm, no job having sperm, eggs high, play dead. These young people, these young women, they don't know nothing about no diaphragm. Me and Wilma Flintstone, we wore a diaphragm. That's what we wore.
Yes.
Now they got pills, patches, gum. I heard that these young women can even get one shot and don't even get pregnant. See, back in my day, one shot, you got pregnant. So I don't know, it's way different now. Yeah, but I have 5 kids, and the reason why I don't have 6 because I had my uterus extracted and taken to a taxidermist. I had it stuffed and laminated and put on a stick like a trophy. Got to sit on my fireplace so I can look at it and watch it. I got garlic hanging on top of it, candles around the base. I was dusting off the fireplace the other day. Thought I saw it move. I stabbed it. And I've got a knife sticking out of it. Scared that damn thing. Yes. But you know, these young people now, they're not having I had a gaggle of kids. They're not having kids like we had. They're raising dogs. That's their children. They call pet parents. Not dog owners, because slavery's been abolished. So they're pet parents. And I really wish the hell we could have raised our kids like they raised their dogs, the same rules. You know, that way if you saw some bad kids outside, you can call it a kid pound, have them all picked up. Can you pick up these badass kids? Thank you very much. And if their parents don't get them in 3 days, they get put to sleep. No more juvies. You go on a trip, you can put the kid in a cage and put them down there with the luggage. No more crying babies on the airplane.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And when your dog tear up your house, you can still beat your dog. You roll some paper, pull his tail up and give him a good whack. Bad dog, you tore up my house. Now you gonna go outside and stay out there till you learn how to act. Chain him up against the fence. And every time I did that, Child Protective Services came and said that I wasn't supposed to be doing that to my kids. You know, I don't understand. It wasn't raining outside enough. Yeah. But you know, I turned this raising kids into a business. Because you know, I had my kids real young. I had my kids so young that when I do go to a nursing home, they'll be down the hall. We're gonna be all together. I can just see us sitting in the day room in our rocking chairs. Hey kids, we're all back together again, huh? Wearing diapers and bibs, just like the old days. Yeah, somebody made a duty. Which one of y'all made a duty? Well, I tell you what, I ain't gonna change your diaper this time. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes. I have 3 kids in their 50s and I'll still be in my 60s. Coming on up. And what happened? I used to be the mother who knew everything. Now I don't know a damn thing. Now they know way more than me. How did that happen? My son told me, Mama, see, you don't understand. You're a woman. And as a woman, you don't understand certain things a man understand. Let me tell you what you didn't understand. You didn't understand what your little wee-wee was when you had it. I said, you know, this morning when you stood over the toilet to pee, guess who taught you how to hold your dick over the toilet? Your mama. I taught you how to put your drawers on. You know how you eat with a fork? I taught you how to hold that too. Everything your ass know, I taught your ass. We got to remind these kids because they're not raising their kids like we was raised. We was raised old-fashioned way. These new parents, we was raised they raised their kids with a question mark. We was raised with an exclamation mark. They're doing something with their kids our parents never let us do. They're letting their kids think and make a decision. They're asking their kids stuff like, honey, you want to wear this outfit today? You want to eat this for dinner? It's getting kind of late. Don't you think it's time for you to go to bed? Well, don't you know? Ain't you mama? My parents were nothing like that. They were leaders. They knew what the hell to tell us. They didn't ask us nothing. Eat this. Put this on. Now get ready to go to bed. I think there's only one question you should ask a kid. You got some rent money? That's it. You ain't got no rent money, you have no rights. I am the only one that has rights. The only right you have is the right to mind me. Now, I've been a mother a long time, raising 3 African-American boys. They were teenagers in the 90s when drugs and crack was all around, but I scared the hell out of my boys. Since the time they were little, I told them, you get in the gang and I see you standing on the corner, I'm going to hit you with my car and kill you. Yeah, we ain't going to counseling, nothing. Dead. It's wrong to kill people. So I would go to turn myself in and they're going to put me in jail because it's wrong for me to kill you with the car. And they're going to take my fingerprints. They're going to take my mugshot. I'll be in jail, think about what I did. I'll write it all down in a little piece of paper. And then they'll confiscate it. Then Oprah get it. And then I'll be on her show. And then they'll make a movie about what I did. And then I'll write a book about what I did. And I'll be rich. And you'll be dead. Just dead. Yeah. You know, when you raising boys, you gotta grow up. You gotta grow up. I had to grow a penis next to my vagina. I did. You can't. My boy said, "We seen my mama got both. We seen her balls." No balls. Those are big ovaries with hair. What are you talking about? Yeah, but you know, now I'm a grandma. I got 17 grandkids. Yeah, I love being a grandma. Yes, my 2 oldest ones are in medical school. My 25-year-old and my 23-year-old in medical school. One's going to be a medical doctor, and one's gonna be a veterinarian. And I'm so happy because now I got one to treat me when I'm sick, and I got one to put me down when it's ready. I'm ready. Grandma, is it time to take you behind the barn? Yeah, baby, get the pillow. It's time to take you behind the barn. So that's what I say. Keep it in the family. But before I get out of here, I know my time is up. I just want to thank all my fellow baby boomers. They call us the boom boom generation. But over the years, I've lost one of my booms. I'm just a baby boom. I used to have two booms. I'm just boom boom, just one boom now. I'm down to one boom. But we still got it going on. I want to thank Dante for having us and appreciate our life and what we have to offer, because we still have a lot to offer to this world. We are the elders. These kids don't like to listen. They think that they're smarter than us. Even my grandkids think they're smarter than me. When I was little, and me and my brothers and sisters, it would rain. We'd be in the house and it start thundering and rain outside. My mother would yell, "Cut off the lights! Cut off the TV! Don't you know that's God? He's walking in his kingdom." We'd be all mad and scared at the same time. We said, "We wish God sit down. We want to turn on the Flintstones. Sit down, God." So one night it was raining and thundering. I told my grandkids, just like I was told, generation to generation, cut off the lights, cut off the TV, because that's God. He's walking his kingdom. And my 12-year-old granddaughter said, "No, it's not, Grandma. That's the cold air and the hot air masses mean the air. Don't you need science?" I said, "You got some rent money." And that's it. That's my time. Thank you so much.
Let's hear it for Debbie Wooten. Debbie, you killed us.
Yeah. Woo!
I do want to thank Dante, because Superman Productions does a lot of different things, and look for his other shows. He's a wonderful producer. He's very talented, and he offers people like us an opportunity to kind of get together and tell jokes and have a lot of fun. So Dante, our hats are off to you. Thank you so much. I want to thank all the performers. Wayne, let's hear it for Wayne Holtzman out of Phoenix. Artist Treece from Palm Beach, Florida.
Thank you.
Chipp Jones from Washington, D.C. Jane Banks from New Orleans. And our headliner, a fabulous talent, movie star, Debbie Wooten. Let's hear it. What a great show.
Yeah.
Fabulous show. Thank you, Dante. Thank you, Superman Productions. We'll see you at the next one. We have another one scheduled the first Saturday in November. So everybody have a great weekend. Let's take a nap, go out and party.
Yeah.